50 Cent is mocking Diddy after TMZ revealed that he's been assigned laundry duty at Fort Dix. While Diddy washes clothes and sips toilet wine, 50 is laughing from the outside.
Diddy is airing out dirty laundry for inmates. They said Sean Diddy Combs is being put to work behind bars, and his first federal prison job has him doing an old fluff and fold. That's probably what Diddy was ordering with those escorts. A fluff and fold special. Sources familiar with the situation tell us Diddy's first gig at Fort Dix in New Jersey plants him in the laundry room, washing and drying dirty clothes. Manual labor may come as a shock to Diddy. During his criminal trial, federal prosecutors claimed he couldn't even charge his own phone or fetch a bottle of water and would send his army of personal assistants to basically do everything for him.
Diddy has been moved to Fort Dix prison in New Jersey, and according to TMZ, he's now washing dirty clothes. The man who was once served hand and foot is now cleaning everyone else's laundry. This might be the first time a billionaire turned into a maid. Meanwhile, Diddy has traded his luxury lifestyle for something more, homemade. Prison officials confirmed he was caught drinking toilet wine, also known as prison hooch.
Okay, to start with, toilet wine turns out is a misnomer. The toilet is mostly a hiding place, and God knows it is not really wine, right? And Sean Diddy Combs is not the first prison inmate to get busted with it, allegedly. But Diddy may be the first to have once owned a vodka brand worth upwards of $1 billion. That would be Ciroc, which sold officially earlier this year for a fraction of that price. Ciroc is distilled 5 times from the finest French grapes, or so it claims. Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff, this week in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds according to the report.
This mistake might cost Diddy extra years on his sentence. The only reason he went to Fort Dix was to get time off by joining their drug program. Fort Dix is one of the few prisons in the country that removes over a year from an inmate's sentence if they successfully quit drugs. Diddy claimed during the trial that he was sober for the first time in 25 years. Was that all a lie?
Yeah, so it's called hooch. Basically, is different ways to make it. You can make it with orange peels. You can make it with sugar. It is all different ways. But what a lot of people don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober, he'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC, and now he's at Fort Dix, and if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it, you're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence?
Right, so it don't work like that, but every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back. Or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
Ex-inmates have confirmed that Diddy was likely buying hooch from other inmates and paying them to make it for him. Diddy's birthday was last week, and the hooch was allegedly part of his celebration. This marks his second birthday behind bars, and from his behavior, it's clear that Diddy is starting to break.
It takes a while to make. It's not just an overnight thing. This takes days to make it. And remember, it smells really bad, so you have to have a good hiding spot. It's very strong.
Oh, it does smell. Okay, so that's the other thing.
Yes.
So the toilet tank is why you're hiding it from the view of the guards, not necessarily
Right.
the temperature of the toilet tank is, optimal for the fermentation of the lovely hooch,
Right.
But so they put it in the toilet tank, and then how does the toilet tank fill up with water to flush? You pull it out, do your business, and flush, and then put it back in?
Yes. So, like I said, these people that usually do make it are very good at it, and they actually charge to make it. So in prison, in federal prison, everything's a business. So he probably paid somebody to actually hold that in their cell and make it for his birthday. I guess it was his birthday that came up, and they will make this alcohol beverage for you. But what's confusing to me is that when you're in the feds, usually there's a crooked CO that'll just bring you in an actual bottle of vodka. So I don't know why they even made it.
Serious?
Yes. Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Yes.
So the whole thing you just said about them selling the toilet wine, I feel like Diddy wouldn't have to buy it. There'd be a lot of people who'd want to be friends with Diddy, and they'd be handing it over. Really?
No, they know how much money he has. Everybody's so happy that he's in the jail right now because they see currency. So all they're doing right now is going up to his cell and trying to sell him everything that they have possible. Actually, trying to get on salary with him to make his bed, clean his cell, go extra shopping for him, extra phone calls, cell phones, anything they can. They're all going to his cell trying to sell something to him because they know he has money. They do it to everybody with money in those jails.
The interesting thing is that hooch isn't the only thing Diddy is paying for in prison. Most likely, he has also talked to other inmates about protection and other services. Fort Dix is a low-security prison, and if Diddy is willing to pay, there's a lot of merchandise that he can smuggle in. There are even inmates that would be willing to take the blame for any crimes that Diddy might commit while inside in exchange for money.
He's only being paid 23 cents an hour. This is nothing to him. He thinks he's too good. And the fact that the Bureau of Prisons put him on laundry duty, I don't know. I feel like, and plus, I don't know. I feel like somebody in the Bureau of Prisons is literally having a key. I think the laundry job is the Bureau of Prisons way of saying, congratulations, you welcome, come in here. You ain't no better than anybody else. Now get to work. All right?
Diddy's team is alleging that nothing actually happened, and the prison hooch story is completely false. At the same time, however, they're also saying that if Diddy does make any mistakes, it's part of his personal journey. Diddy's exec account even addressed the situation in a now-deleted tweet. The tweet read, "The rumors claiming Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family."
Sean Diddy Combs is setting the record straight about his life behind bars, following a report that said the rap mogul, who is serving a 4-year sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions, was caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison. His spokesperson emphatically denies the allegation, telling People magazine in a statement published November 9th, "There have been several false and reckless reports circulating about Mr. Combs. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and self-discipline are priorities, and he is taking them seriously." The 56-year-old was recently transferred to a low-security correctional facility in New Jersey after spending over a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the new institution, he was alleged to have created a mixture of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which ferments into alcohol after 2 weeks, TMZ reported. The spokesperson continues, "This is only his first week at FCI Fort Dix, and unfortunately, rumors will surface throughout his time there. We ask the public and press to give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth, and the grace to move forward in peace."
This came as a shock to no one. Gene actually predicted this months ago back when Diddy was crying about how he was a changed man and had started going to rehab. Gene said that everything that Diddy was doing was a lie designed to make his look innocent. Diddy doesn't regret any of his actions, and the fact that he was buying alcohol just proves this.
I don't give a flying F about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a facade. It's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He had enough money way before he got to jail. If he wanted to do something to get himself right, to get off drugs, he could have got the best doctors. You understand? He could have gotten the best treatment facility. If he wanted to stop beating women, he could have got some psychological help. He could have bought the best that money could buy. So all this shit is just to get his sorry ass out to jail. And 9 times out of 10, it usually helps. How many times you ever seen a leper change his spots? He only taking those programs, bro, to get out of jail. And I don't, most people do that. I don't blame him, but he ain't gonna change, man. You understand? Because he know he got away with a whole lot of shit. Ain't no way those 27, those 30-something people, got up there on the stand, testify. You heard the testimony. You heard what they did. You understand? And he got away with murder, bro. Practically. He got away with murder, man. So he ain't gonna change. In his eyes, he won. Even though he did a year or so behind the bars, in his eyes,
Diddy not being allowed to drink was part of his release conditions. The judge knew that Diddy hadn't changed and wanted to keep an eye on his drug use. As part of his release, Diddy is required to join a drug rehabilitation program.
Yeah, so look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised, or visits, drop-in visits from probation officers at any time, mandatory employment. So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs. And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but also drug abuse and also mental health. The reason why it's so notable is because we all remember the defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
Now, at the same time, Diddy is telling inmates that if they work for him and keep him safe, he's going to help their careers grow. TMZ reported that Diddy was bragging to inmates about a pardon and how he would take care of all of them once he's outside. Diddy is doing this because frankly he has nothing else to offer the inmates, and he needs to bribe them into taking his side.
So Diddy, the baby oil booty bandit, is in Fort Dix prison right now, bragging that Donald Trump is going to pardon him at the beginning of next year. So in case you didn't catch it, Diddy was sentenced to 50 months in prison. He already had like 13 in. That means that he could be out within like 2 years. But he's in prison right now telling his bunkmates, that he's going to be getting a pardon at the beginning of next year from Donald Trump. And that once he gets out, he's going to take care of them. Now, Donald Trump has not said anything about actually pardoning Diddy. He said that if he was given a crazy sentence, that he would consider it if he felt like he was done really wrong. But as far as anybody in the public knows, there hasn't been any type of pardon or deal or offer offered up to Diddy. However, Donald Trump does have a long-standing history of pardoning famous rappers. This is also the exact type of weird games that convicts will play when they're in prison to get protection or to stay safe or to be able to like hustle up what they need in there. I'm gonna be out real soon and I'm gonna take real good care of you.
I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
right.
I think the reporting was accurate.
How did you hear he's faring since the sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have the utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere. I mean, he's done business, the music,
he's iconic
the fashion.
in a lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
Did he learn his lesson about staying away from danger back at the MDC after he was targeted twice in just a matter of months? Allegedly just before he left for Fort Dix, Diddy woke up to a knife to his throat and would have been in danger if it wasn't for a nearby corrections officer. This is the second time something like this has happened, and it only shows just how dangerous prison really is for someone like Diddy.
Diddy obviously just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least, again, for the next 2.5